Want a killer crossover? Check out how in today's video. Hey team, Coach Conley back with another video where we teach you the same skills that I've taught all my players that I've been coaching for the past 20 years. Like, subscribe to our channel so you can get the latest videos every week. Today we are breaking down the crossover. And the crossover is one of the most effective moves in basketball, but we're gonna break down the 4 areas that you can work on to make your crossover super effective when you go out on the court. So today I want to focus on the 4 areas that will make your crossover super effective. First area you should always concentrate on with your crossover is quickness. Your crossover should be quick, which means your handles need to be quick. That means you should work on them all the time to build up the speed in your ball handling. All our great point guards of today have an exceptional handle, and a lot of that comes with the speed and agility of their handle. Watch Anthony Simons here, who uses his crossover really well. He has a long handle, but he really snaps the ball quickly from side to side, giving him a tremendous advantage. If that is slow, the defender can react quicker, giving you less of an opportunity to get by your defender. Trae Young also uses a very quick change of direction here with his crossover to get downhill quickly. If he's any slower, that big defender can cut him off and stop him from getting to the basket. Now, Ja is one of the most dynamic ball handlers we have today. This one, he crosses right to left and gets downhill so quickly the defender can't even react. In this second one, you can see how quickly he crosses right to left on his defender, who can't even react at all before getting to the rim. So making sure you have a quick crossover is one of the first and most important things that you should work on in getting your crossover better. Next up, we're going to talk about the length of your crossover. Making sure your crossover is long will keep you outside the body of the defender, and it is so important that your crossover gets outside the body of your defender because that's the only way they're going to react to the ball. If you keep the ball in tight, it's not going to move the defender at all. So using your crossover with length, getting it outside the defender, will give you an advantage and make that defender react, which gives you room to attack them. Trae Young on this clip, you can see how he gets outside the defender, which gives him the lane to the basket. This is a great angle of Steph Curry on the wing, where you can really see how long his crossover is and what gives him so much space to get this shot off. So the length of your crossover is so important. Steph here uses length to create the space to get by his defender. You can see those 2 crossovers really create angles for him to get all the way to the basket. This next one's the same thing. He really waits a long time before crossing that ball back over, which allows him the space to get around, turn the corner, and get a bucket. On Ja's breakdown, you can see how he takes his time, but really lengthens out the crossover to give himself the angle to get to the rim. So when you're talking crossovers, make sure you're really getting width in your ball handling drills. So your arms are getting longer, and that will take you outside of your defender. The third area is getting your defender to react. You have to be paying attention to your defender and make sure they are moving before you attack any open space. It's the key to most ball handling, but when you're using your crossover, make sure the defender has moved before you attack any space. Watch here as Trae Young crosses over, and once he sees the open space, he attacks it. This second clip of Trae Young also shows how he moves the defender out of his way, then crosses, and then gets downhill. Having that empty space is so important, and if you're not paying attention to it, you won't get by anybody. So it's important to have patience and the crossover to really be dynamic and use it to your advantage. This one really shows how Curry manipulates the ball and manipulates the defender, moving him side to side before getting the pullback. And this one, you can actually see the defender move. He's trying to ice the screen, but he waits for him to do that before attacking the gap as hard as he could. If he doesn't wait, he might try to go over it. Butler would have cut him off, and he wouldn't have had such an easy lane to the basket. So we have to make sure that when we're using our crossover effectively, that we're moving the defender, reading that space, and then taking advantage of it. Don't just cross to find open space and then attack it. The last area you need to be able to work on is getting downhill fast after the crossover. Attacking the defender's open space when it's available is key to getting downhill and making the crossover effective. If you don't attack that space and you hesitate or you wait too long, you won't be able to get to the basket or get your open shot. So make sure you can attack the open space right when it comes available and don't stop until you get your shot. Ja makes this look really easy as he gets downhill, crosses over, and never stops attacking the rim. Him going downhill is almost unstoppable, and he knows that. That's why he gets downhill so fast after his crossover. Curry uses the same thing on the wing over here, where he gets the push cross and gets downhill, gets his shoulder low, gets by the defender, creating an angle to get his short jump shot off. Simons does the same thing in this clip where he gets the push cross, goes downhill, drops his shoulder, and doesn't let the defender stop him. The most important thing about any kind of ball handling moves, but crossovers is what we're talking about today, is to take advantage of the defensive space when you get it. So make sure right after you cross over that you're going downhill hard and you don't let defenders recover and take that space back. It's the best way to use an effective crossover to get more buckets. So that's really it for the 4 areas I want you to concentrate when working on your ball handling. It's such an important skill to have to be able to cross over the ball. So make sure you're working on your handles every day and make sure the crossover and these skills are part of your game so you can have a crossover that kills it on the basketball court. That's it for today's video. I hope you can use these areas and improve your ball handling with them. Make sure your crossover is as elite as all these guards. By concentrating on these 4 areas, I know your crossover will be super effective in your next game. If you want more training on the crossover, check out our training app in the description below. You can train with me and get personalized feedback on all your skills.